talking about sell online with e-commerce tools. If you'll go to this website right here, that will give you all of the different topics that we have access to and that your Google partner who invited you has access to. So take a look at that and let them know what you're interested in, what you'd like to learn more about. If you're posting or tweeting, if you'll use the hashtag Grow with Google, it will let all of your friends, your connections know you're leveling up your skills, but it also lets the Google team know that you like this, you want more of this, and it encourages them to create more like this, which is what I love because I'm not selling you anything today. Understand you have access to all these tools through your free Google account. So a free personal Gmail account is a free Google account, or through a Google account, a free Google account you start, you have access to everything that I'm talking about today. But most people and most small businesses don't know how to use this. In fact, I sadly hear many who will pay for something like this and not realizing they already have access to it. So we're going to talk about free stuff and how you can maximize and optimize that, because I'm a bootstrap marketer and I want to make sure that you're getting something and using the tools the best that you can to start that cash flow and your business growing. Deal? All right, let's see. I saw that this was going to be down on a Shopify website. Will the information also work for other sites? Yes. Oh, yes, yes, yes. Octavia, these are basic principles and foundations that you need no matter what content management system you use. So Shopify is a content management system. It's an e-commerce tool, but it's a content management system. You put your pictures, your content, your video, your product, your services, you put all of that in there. Wix is also one, Squarespace is one, WordPress is one, WooCommerce is one. There's a whole host of them. Everything that we're talking about today, it may be in different areas for different tools, but it's in there for all the tools. So this is going to give you a solid foundation, Octavia. All right, absolutely, Jorge, deal. Can you sell anything online? Pretty much, except for what would be illegal to an area, right? So let's go ahead and jump in. I am recording now. Oh, also, this is how you can find me. If you want to tag me on anything, I will repost you in my stories, retweet you, but you can find me here. That's my Twitter account and my Instagram account. I'm active on all socials, but just those a little bit more active. So we'll talk about why you sell online, all right? Why is that important right now? I think some of us know the answer to that, but I just want to make sure that you know what kind of volume you could reach online. And we know that your website is the new front door these days. It's that first impression. So we'll talk about how you can showcase your products with a business profile. How many of you have a Google business profile? Let me know in the question box. Make money, right? I'm an e-commerce gal, so yeah, I hear make money all the time, Geneva. That's I say sales solve everything. You know, it's not always the thing that's exactly needed, but it solves a lot of things and gives you lots of options. Showcase products with Google Merchant Center. So I'll talk to you how you can use that for free, not just for ads. Sell online with Shopify. So now I will show you how you can use that for free through a trial period. Now, of course, you will have to eventually pay for Shopify if you decide on that tool. I know Shopify well. I've got about 14 different Shopify stores that I actively manage in e-commerce, but there are other tools. I've used other tools, but that's the one I just happen to know well. And then, of course, I'll always do a recap with free resources. So let's go ahead in. When I get to slides like this is when I'm going to pause and take a good look into some of the questions. I am looking at the questions as they come in, but sometimes the questions are super long. And remember, it's 8-point font. So if they're super long, this is usually when I'll pause and take a look and see if there's anything I'm missing. So let's see, I can recommend TaxJar for handling sales tax questions. Awesome. Lee, see, I love, this is why I kind of wish the question box was a chat box, because we can help each other. If we were in a room together, we would do this, right? At break, at coffee, or walk on over and just talk, or lean on over and talk to somebody. Start your own buzz. Yes, TaxJar. Oh, perfect, Lee. Thank you so much for sharing that. So it's better to set up Google Business Profile first and then go through the next steps for analytics, Search Console, etc. Yes, Alan, I highly recommend that, because you learned earlier in the webinar that when you connect all the Google tools, Google can now confirm your information, and it gets that confirmation across several tools. Now it'll show you up higher in Google search, because now it's showing that that information is correct. Remember, Google's the #1 search engine because people find correct information here. The only way we can make sure the information is correct by teaching you how to put it in, and then also making sure you connect all the tools so it can verify that information. So you are correct in your structure and the steps you put there, Alan. Yep, starting your own business. Absolutely. That's why you sell online. So now I say sales online. Today I am talking about e-commerce. Do know you can use it for nonprofit use also. So e-commerce means products or service. Can be either or both. But if you're a nonprofit, you might use this for donations. So you might hear me say sales, but you can use it for donations. Now, do understand, though, I am talking specifically about e-commerce. So I'm not going to go into how you can use this for surveys and such, but I'll give you some basic principles, okay? So we know online shopping is something people do. They do it even locally. Even if you're just a mile down the road, we will still online shop just because it's easier, especially if I could just drive up and you'll bring it out to me. I can pick it up curbside. I can also not waste my time, energy, and gas to go if you don't have it in inventory. I can check all of that. And we saw that whole shift happen in March 2020, and the past 2 years it continues to happen and grow. In fact, 78% of us go first to a mobile device whenever we're searching for anything. So do make sure that you are focused in making that mobile experience the best that it can be. Now, why are you online again? This is why. People are there. If sales happen in the store, people are going first to your online site. That's that first impression. So what could you do to make sure that you're visible? Because this is key. If people don't know you exist, they cannot do business with you. They have to know you exist. If you don't exist in the first 30 searches, so you don't show up in the first 30 organic searches of Google, people consider that you went out of business sometime in 2020, or you're not very good at what you do. So you're not the expert. Nobody wants to hire not the expert, right? We want the best that we can get at the most affordable price that we can get. But even though we can't afford a lot, we still want the best, right? So make sure you're showing up in the first 30 searches. So every organic search page of Google gives you 10 organic search results, and you want to show up at least in the first 30. Now, my challenge to you, because I know that I say that because that's best practice, but I know in the real world that there's a running joke out there that if you want to hide anything, you want to hide a dead body, you hide them on the second page of Google, because people don't look past that. So anybody that I work with, I tell them you've got to be on the first page. If you want to stand out and really give your business visibility and elevate that growth, you want to be on the first page in the first 10 searches. If you can dominate that, even better. So today we're going to talk about, for e-commerce and growing your business, your Google business profile. You need to have that. For Google Shopping tab, this is different from shopping ads. Shopping ads you pay for, but the shopping tab is different, and you can use the Google Merchant Center to get there. Now, shopping ads is the only thing that's paid for here on this screen. We've got Google Lens. How many of you use Google Lens? I'd love to hear in the question box. Google Images and Google Search. We're talking about all of these tools and enabling all of them to help you become even more visible when people need your product, service, or solution. So first we'll talk about how you can showcase your products. And let me see. So sometimes you use Google Lens. Yes, you said? You're talking about SEO and optimization. Exactly. Search engine optimization is important because you need to be able to show up when people are searching for you. The first part of Google's algorithm is relevancy. How relevant are you to what people are searching for? And that has everything to do with whether or not you're matching the words that they use and what they're looking for. Okay, not what you think, what they're looking for. So let's see, we'll be available for replay. Yes, Lincoln, as long as you've commented here, this will be available for replay. Now, you're not going to get the video till tomorrow. There are several webinars today, and it takes the system a little time to render it. And you'll also get a copy of today's slides if you've commented in the question box. You do not have to put your email address. The system already is picking that up, but this is the time in the question box. If you want to comment, that you can comment, and the system is picking up who is saying that, who's commented, I'm sorry, that and they'll get a copy of the webinar replay, which you can slow down and speed up or go over what I'm covering several times, and the slide deck, which will help as a checklist, almost a checklist or an outline for you. Okay, good questions though. So let's talk about products. All right, I cannot view the part. How do I view questions and comments? You can't. You can only type in the questions. You don't get to see them. Only type in. I'm the only one who can see them. I know, I don't like it. It's a terrible question box, but it's what we have to work with. And so I'm the only one who can see that, Anna. All right. Perfect. Mike, hello, Mike. Justin, glad you found it. Absolutely. Anna, you're very welcome. All right. Tanishik. Gosh, I'm sure I botched up your name. I'm sorry. Maria, will you go over Google My Business? Yes, I will. Absolutely. I'll go over that briefly here. So thank you for calling that out. And Raymond, I see you here. Wanda, awesome. All right. So we all have to do is comment. Yes, Wanda, that's it. All right. Absolutely. Let's talk about your business profile on Google. So this is your business profile. If you're looking on a desktop or laptop or tablet, you'll see it show up here on that top right-hand corner. It's really got a lot of good visual real estate, which is very good for your brand. And then depending on how you lay out your website, how you set up that information architecture, you could also have all of these great call outs too, and extensions showing up that really gets your position there to show when somebody is searching for your product or service that, man, this is the person to talk to. So your business profile, how you can access that is if you have a personal Gmail account, you're just going to sign into that Gmail account. That is a free Google account. Now, if you do not have a Gmail account, do not worry, you don't have to have one. You can start a free Google account. You're going to go here to this URL right down here at the left-hand corner. Go to that URL. You'll put in your email address. It doesn't change it to Gmail. You'll create a password, and like any other password protected site online, you'll use this email address that you have already. It doesn't create one. You'll put in a password and you'll be able to access the free Google tools, okay? So as you are going through and setting up your business profile, what you can do in your business profile is you can actually add products. So I'm not going to walk through how to set up a business profile. I'll give you some of the basics. You'll go to google.com/business. Once you've logged into your free Google account or your Gmail account, you're golden then with that. Start a new tab, go to google.com/business. When you go in there, now you can set up your business profile. You'll put in the name of your business. It will show up all the businesses in the nation with that name, and then you will choose the one that's at your location. Now, if your name doesn't show up, that means you're not on there. It's time to enter your name. I encourage you to just follow along there. Double check your work though, because you want to make sure you're spelling all the information's right. Know that you need to put an address in there, but don't believe the myth that if you're home based that you're going to show up in Google Maps. You can turn that off. You just make the choice whether or not you want your address to show up on maps and you want people to visit your location. If you don't, then say no. And all the address is going to be used for is to send the verification postcard to you to prove that you're the business owner. You'll get a 5 or 6 digit code you'll enter in, and that's how you do that. I can go into greater detail at the end. We actually have an entire webinar that walks you through this, and it's a great checklist. That's why I love the webinar. It's just got an amazing slide deck with it, but I can do that at the end, okay? Now, when you do have a business profile, what you can do is add products here and you can upload those photos. You can create categories. You can even set the price, but you don't have to. I was working with a photographer in Dallas, and it was funny because she has a wide price range. So she was afraid of putting her photo albums on here because she didn't want to be tied to one price. And I told her, you can set a price range, but you don't want to miss the opportunity that when people are looking for you, that they can find you. Or if they find your competitor, you want to provide them an alternative. You can also add the description. I do encourage you to add a description and to take time doing that. Really think about how people search for you, what they're looking for, what are the words they use, not what you think they use. Sometimes we are so close to our business that we use industry terms and lingo that no one in the public would ever use. So it's really important to talk to your customers. Believe me, it's okay to talk to them other than just you've got something to sell to them or for them to resubscribe. Talk to them and find out what words they're using. And they're really going to be and feel honored that you asked. They're actually going to feel closer to your business and more loyal to it when you do ask and have a conversation other than a sales conversation with your customers. If you don't have customers yet, don't worry. Speak to people who are maybe customers of your competitors, maybe in your circle of friends, somebody you feel comfortable talking and talking to, and ask them and listen to what they say and how they search and what their actual path to purchase or their customer journey looks like. All right, now you can also add the button to order online or buy, and then you can save all of that and see how nicely it shows up there. Really gives you some good visual real estate on Google. You can also see that how these products appear within your Google profile. See how nice it looks there? You've got the range, you've got your description here, and they can even learn more and click through to your site. So again, to set up a Google business profile, you'll go to google.com/business. If you were writing furiously to get to that URL that I talked to you about for the business profile, it's right there, and you can take a screenshot of that. And again, I'll send a copy of these slides out. When the recording goes out tomorrow, you'll get both of these together, okay? Now we'll talk about how you can showcase those products on Google Merchant Center, but let me see what questions are here. Question box, anytime I touch it, it goes right to the very top. So let me scroll, give me a moment to scroll here. And let me see if I missed any questions. Okay, perfect. Michelle, no, I'm glad this is helpful to you. I have the business suite. Do they have any extra features, or this is the same for all account types? So the business suite, the extra features are more in your workspace, having to do with your Google Docs, your slides, some of the apps that you have access to, Jamboard, education, all of that. But this is free to anybody with a Google account. Okay, so this part is free. Good question, Montel. Alana, can you link and merge your Google product inventory to a content management system? Yes, you can. I'll show you how to do that. Elena, we're going to talk about that in just a few moments. Which webinar walks you through setting up Google Business? It's Get Your Local Business on Google Search and Maps. That's the webinar that walks you through that. You're very welcome, Sandra. I set my page up a month ago, but my logo is still not showing. How do I fix that? Ooh, Janifa, have you claimed and verified your Google Business profile? Double check that you've claimed and verified that, okay? Hello, Alexandra. Will you review how to understand Google Analytics? Very slight here. There is an entire webinar about that called Make Better Business Decisions with Analytics. Reach out to your Google partner who invited you so that they can have that, or feel free to see if there's any webinars available like that too, okay? Let's see. Any other questions before I move on? Oh, I know, it's so easy, Geneva, to start Gmail accounts, right? I have way too many of them myself. So that's really important. You need to know which one you started it with, because a lot of people, that's the biggest confusion. It's so easy to start Google accounts that they forget which one is associated with which Google business profile, right? I am very new. Can we promote our business? Yes, you can. So we're going to go in deeper now. So let's talk about Google Merchant Center. How many of you have linked your business with Google Merchant Center yet? Because it's a free tool, but a lot of people think it's only for ads, right? So let me know in the question box if you've ever used Google Merchant Center. It'll give me a chance to know how fast or how slow I should go. So how your products actually appear when you're using Google Merchant Center. Let me tell you, when you've connected that together and you're showcasing your products in Google Merchant Center, first of all, in Google search, we want to show up there, right? 99% of people are going there. You may be amazing on Instagram, TikTok famous. You could be really killing it on Facebook or Twitter. And even though those are great social networks and I love the tools, the thing is not everybody's on there, but 99% of the world is searching on Google. So I want it to show up both places. You can use this for free then and be in Google search results by connecting Google Merchant Center. But what's even better too is you can show up other places. For example, Google Shopping tab, right? Google Shopping tab is, if you see right here when you're looking at a Google search result, you can see all the results, or you can look just as top as shopping. If somebody's making a price comparison or wondering what's in stock, they go to Google Shopping. And if your competitor's there, they're more likely to do business with them, not you. You want to absolutely show up in Google Shopping tab. So let me see here. Linked Shopify with their feed. Yes, you can completely link up Shopify with your feed. You're exactly right, Alexandra. All right, so no, I'm not aware of, yep, not sure of Google Merchant Center. So this is, you can, first of all, when you use Google Merchant Center, you'll show up in search higher, because remember, Google's confirming, all the tools are confirming that your information is real, your business is real, and it wants to give good info to the user, to the person searching. So now you can show up in shopping tabs. You can also show up in images. So this is not shopping ads. This is where people will do a lot of comparison and searching if something's in inventory. And then also images, you'll show up here in images. Imagine that somebody is looking at a photo album and they don't even know about your business and they're considering your competitor, but now they come here to images and they see your photo album and they think, oh, I should check here too. But what's even better, this is my favorite tool in e-commerce, is Google Lens. Because Google Lens, you can snap a picture of something and then you can see and search it online. This is what I love. So imagine you're at a local farmer's market, it's Saturday, and you're thinking about buying fennel, or maybe you're at a spice festival and you take a picture of it, and you're not going to carry fennel because you're just walking around, you're enjoying the festival, you're filled with drink and food, you don't want to buy anything right now. But when you took a picture of it, you use Google Lens, and you found out after you left the festival who has it in stock locally. Then you found out a little bit more about their pricing and what they could also have available. But you were able to find that through Google Lens. Had this happen with a photographer that I was just talking about. She's at, her friend actually is at a newborn, baby shower. So they're doing a baby shower, actually a baby reveal. And what they did is they took a picture of a photo album that the person had gotten. And not only did that competitor's photo album show up, but this photographer's photo album also showed up because she was available through Google Lens. When you're in Google Merchant Center, you're now available through Google Lens. Now, Google Lens is only available in the USA. So it's not available internationally yet. It's being beta tested out there. But in the USA, you definitely want to show up here, because if you're scooting along, let's say I'm at a friend's house and we're having, it's just friend Friday night dinner making, and we're doing some things, and I'm seeing she's using different spices, or maybe she's got different drinks available, or maybe something cool that I saw on her coffee table. And I thought, oh, I like that. I could take a picture of it and then see where I could get that at myself, okay? Now, shopping ads, that is paid. That's totally different. You do need Merchant Center for that, but these are paid positions. And you'll see in Google search results, they show up here at the very top. So let me show you how you can use Merchant Center, okay? Let me see, I've learned something new and I've never heard of Google Lens. There you go, Geneva. I love to hear this. In fact, just everybody, I love what Geneva's doing here. Have you learned anything new already that surprised you? Let me know in the question box. I'd love to know if this is helpful for you, because that just makes me float my boat and makes sure that I am doing everything and covering all the aspects that would be helpful to you. So this is how you start. You're going to create an account. You're going to upload your products, and then you're going to show those products across Google. So you'll start here. This is the URL that you want to use, g.co/merchant center. If you want to take a screenshot of that because you just really are ready to start doing this after we finish, then take a screenshot of that. But again, when you get the slides, you can use this as your checklist and walkthrough. But then when you sign up for Google Merchant Center, remember, if you have a Gmail account, free Gmail account, or any Google account, you're ready to go. You just go to here and it'll see your credentials. Now, what you're going to do is you'll put your business name in, what country you're in. You want to put the right country because you want all of the analytics when you're measuring your marketing. If you're not measuring, you're not marketing. $1 or 1 minute spent that's not lifting the bottom line or making your goals inevitable is $1 or 1 minute spent too much. So it's important for you to put the country you're in so you will know and your analytics will be in accordance with the right time zone. And that's also next, the time zone. So business, country, and the time zone. So you're being presented all the opportunities correctly through Merchant Center. For example, if you put that you are in, let's say in France, then Google Lens wouldn't even be available to you because it's only in the US right now. So the next thing you're going to want to do is let us know, where will people check out when they purchase from you? Are they going to check out from your website? Are they going to check out on Google? Now there is Buy on Google. This is a new program that just rolled out in the fall and is still rolling out across regions. So you may not see this available to you yet, but it is available that people can just buy straight on Google. And what we know is when people have to click the least amount, when they can just click, and buy, it's a lot easier. They buy more than when they have to click a lot of times. So you might decide that they can actually buy on Google if that's available to you. You'll just have to it depends on which area of the country you're at because it's rolling out by zones. And then of course, if it's at a local store. All right, so let's say you have a local shop too, and they can shop online. They might be able to do both. So you want to select all that apply. It could be all of the above. You just want to make it easy for people to buy from you. So you're going to have all of the above selected here. All right. The next step is, what tools are you going to use for them to be able to pay? It could be, let's say they're paying with Shopify. So your CMS, your content management system, has the ability, a shopping cart in there that they can check out, or maybe you're linking PayPal to it as well. And there are more tools to this being added. So just keep that in mind, check back. And then you do want to click on both of these. You do want to make sure those are both checked. And the reason is because if you don't see buy on Google yet, you want to be alerted about it as soon as it's available. And this means that you'll be alerted about invitations for new features and awareness of it. Plus, you'll also get some really, really great tips and best practices in real time. So you want to check those off. Again, giving you the maximum opportunity with your free Google accounts, especially the Google Merchant Center. So in the Merchant Center, just like any other Google account or Google tool, all of the navigation happens on the left side. You'll see overview, products, performance, and growth, okay? You see all of that happening there. So you can get to each. Each specifically covers different areas of their business. The first thing you're going to do is verify your business. Now, if you were with me in the last webinar where I talked about making your website work for you, you know, connect your Google Analytics first. It's also a free tool. Connect that first before you connect to any of the rest of these things. And the reason I say that is because once you've connected to Google Analytics, it makes connecting to all these other tools nice and smooth. I see a lot of people struggle with, where do I put the code? I don't know how to do tags. They don't know a lot of these different things. And even though it's spelled out in instructions, I don't know about you, but I struggle with that. I'm just not a techie person when it comes to the instructions. I'm definitely a hands-on person, and I like easy. So Google Analytics, hooking that up ahead of time, make sure that this just immediately they recognize each other, and then you don't even have to do any of this. All right. Once you verify that you're the business owner, now you can do things with it. You can start adding your products. You can do this individually, just typing in the products. But if you have multiple products, this can become tedious and take us too much time. And we don't want to spend time doing this. We've got to take care of customers and make money. So you might have a combination of that. We'll talk about now how you can add an individual product and how you can add a whole bunch of products. To first add individual products, it's just like you see here, really walks you through in the Merchant Center. Where does the country say you're selling at? What language? Okay. Click here, make sure you click here because surfaces across Google make sure that you are available now in Google Lens, Google Shopping tab, Google Images, and Google Search. If you don't check that, then it's only going to show up wherever you say. For example, if you just want to do this for shopping ads and show nowhere else, I don't know why somebody would do that, because to me, the more eyeballs, the better. Meet people where they're already at. So check off services, and then if there's an identifier, like you've got a barcode or a GTIN number, some sort of code that you use to identify, you can put this here as well. But if you're doing multiple products, what you can do is add multiple products by clicking here that you are going to be adding multiple products. So you've checked all of this, and now when you click continue, what you'll see in front of you is the ability to add things through Google Sheets. Now, if you're not familiar with Google Workspace and Google Tools that you, again, have free access to with your free Gmail or Google account, Google Sheets works just like Excel spreadsheets. Google Docs works like Word. Google Slides works like PowerPoint. There's no additional cost for them. They're with your free personal Gmail account, but this is an Excel spreadsheet that you have access to. So Google Sheets is a lot of times what people like to do, or if you're connecting it with your site, it also gives you the opportunity to do that depending on the content management system that you're working with. When you use Google Sheets, you will find if you click that and you click continue, it now gives you the opportunity to see a template or have a template that's already laid out for you. So everything is perfectly as Google Merchant needs it to be able to accept it and right away show your products to Google in Lens, Shopping, Search, and just images everywhere. So right away, you'll see that there's a template available to you. And what that template looks like is, let me see, right here. It has ID, so that's the ID, the identifier for the product, the title, description, link, the condition, is it brand new, is it available too? Because you don't want Google to upset people by showing something that's not available and maybe it's out of stock, maybe you're waiting on actual transportation and delivery, so it's not there yet. It will be able to read if something's available and it's not available yet. So you can go through here and really customize. So this ID is your own ID that you're using, but then you can also put the GTIN, the international ID, which is like a barcode, but an international identifier, and you could put that here too. All right, I've covered a lot. Let me go to questions real quick. I definitely will need a recording. I hear you, Latoya, I hear you. Let's see. Oh, let's completely linked up shop. Oh, that's perfect. Where can I find keywords to make my business visible on Google? You can actually look at Google Trends, and you can look at the keyword planner in Google Ads. I'm not going to be covering that today because that's actually a separate webinar, but I can answer the question even more thoroughly, Essie, at the end if you'd like to hang out for that. Okay. And I'm so glad you learned about Google Lens. Perfect. Is buy on Google a fee service? No, it's not. Not yet. Okay, I don't know if it's going to be later, but I know not right now as it's rolling out. No. Let's see. Will you have another seminar on the first seminar, website building? Oh, absolutely, Roberta. We'll definitely do that. Plus, reach out to the Google partner who invited you because they can request it too. All right, and they want to know what you need because they want you to be successful and you know what you need. Let's see, will it update automatically on inventory count? It sure does. Gabrielle, Christine, how do I make sure I get a handout of the webinar? You can look here at the control panel. There's a handout there for you. Plus, I will also email it when I send a copy of today's recording and the slides, okay? Tanella, I'm not feeling, oh, absolutely, no worries, no worries. Specific zip codes under service until they affect my Googles. Well, yes, absolutely. In your Google business profile, just so that you know, that's a very local focused tool. Its power and strength is in local. Once you get out past 100 miles, you start putting in a whole bunch of zip codes because you can service the whole nation or world. You've diluted the effectiveness of the tool. Use something else for that. But Google business profile is meant for locals. Try to stay within 100 miles. I actually best practice for the people and the businesses I work with. I keep them within 30 miles because I want them to show up a lot against their competitor, and I know the strength is local marketing and local SEO. Okay, that answers your question. All right, yes, definitely. You'll get a copy just because you commented here, Marcia. So we've talked about now, once you're in Google Merchant Center, you are now going to be available for Google search. Your products will be available in the shopping tab. You can use it for ads, you can use it for Google Images, and it'll show up on Google Lens, right? Once you got that all set up. Now, even though I'm talking about Shopify today as a content management system, there are other ones out there like Squarespace, Wix, WooCommerce. You can even use WordPress. There's so many tools out there, but because I'm familiar with Shopify and because Shopify does have the foundational best that everybody else has too, you can use this and use the information here and apply it to whatever content management system you have. Just so that you know, you can use Shopify for free for the first week or the first 9 products. And then after that, you can get it for as little as $9 to $14 a month. I'm not selling Shopify, I'm just letting you know that it's available to you. So that, as I said, is e-commerce. We're going to talk about Shopify specifically as the content management system, but what we talk about, you can apply to any content management system. So what Shopify did, of course, we know in 2020, a lot of people started using it and they really want to make commerce better and easier. And their system is streamlined for that. And we know that it's beneficial to businesses just because they've been going there in droves, especially as we saw a lot of people who were normally offline, who were on Main Street, who were doing business only locally, realized that they still need a web presence because people are going here now first and doing all their research here. Now, when you get started, as I said, you can set up a free account. There's a whole bunch of wonderful themes already pre-built into Shopify you can use. Here's the caution with that. Some of those themes are very beautiful, but they're very heavy. When I say heavy, I'm talking about they take a long time to load on a mobile device. You want your website to load in 4 seconds or less on a mobile. All right, some of these sites actually take about 3.8 to 3.9, some of these sites, I mean themes, Some of these themes take 3.8 to 3.9 seconds to load, and that's before you put video, photos, and text in. So just imagine when you filled your site up, how long that'll take to load. And it does matter, because if your site takes longer than 4 seconds to load, you'll lose over half, 53% of your traffic. And for every second over that, you'll lose another 10%. Doesn't matter what you're doing in ads. You could be promoting the heck away and posting the heck away on all your socials. As soon as they get to your site, if it takes longer than 4 seconds to load, 53% of them are out the door looking at the competitors. They're going to another site, and for every second over that, another 10%, okay? So keep that in mind. When you get started with Shopify, you'll set up your free trial here. It will ask you about your business because it is utilizing artificial intelligence and the history and experience it has with different industries to present you with the best options that you can have in Shopify for your industry. And then you'll see when you get started, all that navigation also happens in the left. There's a lot of learning videos available to you here. So Shopify is really a self-contained system, and they have a whole learning experience there too. And you can learn how to navigate and do all of the things in Shopify to be able to grow your business. But now I'm going to go more to what any content management system will need. You'll need to be able to add your products. So it needs to be easy. You can use physical or digital products, okay? So you can set up different variants. Let's say that you have a digital product for the US, for the UK, for France. Maybe this is in Spanish. So you have lots of different variants. You can also build in or have a built-in inventory tracking, and you can find where that is. So you become really proficient in understanding your inventory levels and your numbers, which is important. As small businesses, our numbers, our business lives and dies on those numbers that we need to measure. And then also you can import your feeds in. So let me talk to you about how you can add products. What you can do here for Shopify is you click all products on any content management system. There will be the way to do that. Now you can put descriptions in, you can put in the title, you can even put in exactly if you want to put the vendor in, you can get that specific. You can put pricing in as well. And you can also do this via spreadsheet too, okay? So that's available to you through Shopify. But more importantly, I'm going to talk to you about how you can connect Google to a content management system, okay? So in Shopify, you actually will see on the left there's sales channel. If you're not using Shopify, look at your content management system and you're looking for the opportunity to connect sales channels. Now, while this is blanked out here because today I'm speaking for Google, do understand that sometimes it'll say right up here, Facebook, you can put your Facebook shop, your Instagram shop, maybe there's another marketplace you link to here, Bing even, but Google is what we're going to connect this with today to make sure our Google Merchant Center and Shopify, or your content management system, are speaking to each other and promoting your products or your services as best you can. So as you connect this, you will see it gives you and lets you know what is going to be revealed when you're connected. You do have to be able to agree to this, but it's important that you know, and then you're going to click add a sales channel. So within my Shopify store, I have it connected to Google. I've got Facebook in there, Facebook shop, Instagram shop connected. I have Bing, trying to think what else. Pinterest is connected as well. I think I have a couple of marketplaces connected as well. And then I don't have Amazon connected. I'm trying to think what else do I have connected in there. I have, man, I'm blanking on the name of the software, but I use it for payment process or payment splitting. And then also one to see if there are any influencers in my customer list. So you can connect a lot of different things. Just know what permissions you're giving. For Google, once you connect your Google account, you're going to sign in with your account information, or if you already have Gmail or your Google account open, this will then actually recognize that, but you can connect the two here by clicking that button. Then once it connects it, you do have this list of criteria it needs to meet. So this is very important because it will not connect the two together if you don't have this. You have to have, and this isn't just Shopify, this is any content management system. So you have to have a valid way for people to pay. You also most definitely have to have a refund policy. This is where people have a lot of missteps. You need a refund policy and terms of service visible on your website. So it has to be there. A lot of people will put a refund policy as a clickable link at the bottom of their site, but you have to have that. You also have to have contact information visible on your website. A lot of people don't want to put a phone number, they don't want to put their address, but if you don't have any contact information on your site, you're not going to be able to use Google Merchant Center. So you do have to have this. In fact, it's going to be hard for you to even use Shopify. You do have to reveal some of these things to, again, verify that you're not some spam or phishing business, that you're a true actual business. And now you can go in here and sync the product feed. So it'll walk you through here what to do next, and you can get started connecting your Merchant Center and your content management system. Now it will give you the opportunity to set up a smart shopping campaign if you want to. This is ads. So to set this up is ads, but you can start seeing that if you want to, you can put in your merchant ID, you can put your Gmail account or your Google account in, and it'll start walking you through if you want to promote this in the Merchant Center. When you are setting up your product feed, one of the things it will ask you to do is to look at your target market and your shipping settings. So it's important for you to know where your market is actually at, where are you focusing on, where do you want your shop to show up at, and then also your shipping settings. How, is it, because what Google will do, it'll actually, for example, if somebody's on Google search and they're looking for, I'm looking for a photo album with free shipping. Then if you don't provide free shipping, you won't show up there for that. So you do want the shipping settings. Or maybe I'm looking for a photo album, but I want express shipping because I need it tomorrow. And so I'm going to only look who has express shipping. Okay. And we do know that happens. I mean, think about yourself when you're on Amazon. You sometimes click that you only want to see things that are available through Prime because you want the free shipping that comes with your paid Prime subscription. So finally, then you can start connecting things. Remember what I said about connecting things in Google? It verifies even more with Google that you are a true business, that your information is correct. And because it is correct information and Google feels solid in that, it starts showing you up higher in a Google search. I covered a whole lot today, really a lot of things. Do know though, if you'll just get started, that's how you'll become familiar with this. You'll find whatever content management system you use, they'll walk you through how to even connect your analytics, your feed to Google Merchant Center. They really are all pretty well designed to make sure you connect to the free Google tools, but a lot of people just don't know to do that, so they don't even look at that area or those instructions within their content management system. So let me look at questions real quick. While I look at questions, let me put something up that's a little bit more helpful than free additional resources. If you did open a shop, an online store since the pandemic, and you want to know, maybe you were just doing it, wildly as we were going into lockdown, and you haven't even looked back at it to check how it's performing, you might want to go here to this free site, which is g.co/growmystore. What it will do is Google will look through here and see what are some aspects of your store that might need beefing up or maybe aren't working for you, and it'll give you that feedback of what needs to be fixed. Another site that I don't even think is on, I don't think it's in the slide deck, but I talked about it in the last webinar, and that is Test My Site. So it's g.co/testmysite. And that will test your site on a mobile device and let you know how fast or how slow your website loads. And it'll also let you know what's slowing it down and how to fix it, okay? So that's important too, because it doesn't matter all this amazing stuff you're doing, if your site doesn't load fast, they're out of there. That's the first thing that'll get them to bounce and leave your site. Let me see what questions you have while you're looking at this. Let's see. Oh, good, I'm so glad it's helpful, Maria. Yay, yay, yay. Will the Google stuff work with websites from Square? Yes, actually they will. So just look for that. Now, what it won't work with is, let's say you have an Etsy shop. So Etsy, because it's proprietary and it's closed, will not connect with Google Merchant Center. Okay, so you'll have to have a different content management system for that. Oh, look at that. Jennifer, you asked it right as I was talking about Etsy too. How much of a disadvantage is it to have your Google profile set up under a different Gmail account than your Google business email? Is that important? Anna, as long as it's all connected to the same domain, then it's verifying that business. As long as you can keep it straight in your head, which goes to which, you could do that. What I like to do, because I do have so many Gmail accounts, is I will actually let my other Gmail accounts become managers of the main account, the primary owner account. So I might have this Gmail account as the primary owner of this tool. This is the primary owner, but I will share it with the others as users just in case something happens where I need to access it. Maybe, I just gone blank and I don't remember which Google account it's with. I can at least still have access. Even though it may be limited access, I can still do some managing with it. So a management user role is one of the limited roles, so you don't have the full access like a primary owner, but you can still do business. Okay. Yes, Shaquante, this is going to be available to you. It will be emailed to you tomorrow because it'll be sent with the recording, and sometimes because the webinar platform is busy, it takes a bit of time to get the rendering of this, the recording. Perfect, Elena. If we already have a Gmail account for a different business, can we or should a second Gmail account be set up? You can, but just so you know, for even like your Google business profile, you can have 100 locations connected to one profile. I have several locations because I work with a lot of different businesses, small businesses, and because of that, so I have the same Google account I use for that, and they're all connected there. A lot of helpful information. Oh, very good. Great, great, great. I'm glad to hear that. Perfect. Okay, I wanted to make sure there were any other questions before I move on to the next resource. The next resource too, gosh, a lot of people don't know about this, but it's Local Opportunity Finder. And there's a Local Opportunity Finder on Google and an International Opportunity Finder. I'll tell you, with Local Opportunity Finder, I haven't used it that much. So I'm going to just direct you to this website to learn. And I will tell you, sometimes this website is funky depending on your area of the country. Because it's not rolled out completely to everybody, but International Market Finder has rolled out to everybody in the country. And I love that, so just Google that, because I don't have that URL here in the slide deck or at top of my mind right now. But I did this because, for example, our business was running in, we had it in the US, we had it in Canada. I was trying to decide between UK, Australia, and Germany. And so I did the International Opportunity Finder. I plugged our business in, and it gave me all sorts of research about who was searching for what product around our industry in each of the countries, what their median income is, what they've been spending in that industry. So what in the specific industry, this happened to be the pet industry, dog specific, what they're spending on their dogs, whether they buy online or not. So it helped us decide to go to Australia first, which was a great decision because Australia does about as much business in our industry that the US does, and then the UK next, and Germany last. So we were able to really prioritize and make some good business decisions with Local Opportunity Finder, or actually International Opportunity Finder. And Local Opportunity Finder is set up the same way, except for just nationwide here in the US. If you want to decide, should I be selling in, I'm in Texas right now, should I be selling in Louisiana? Or maybe does Tennessee make sense for me? Okay. And of course, you can continue your education every quarter. Google On Air covers topics that are pertinent to small businesses. But even before that, reach out to the Google partner that invited you, because they can customize a webinar training for you. They can give you one-on-one support. They can bring me back again, and we can cover whatever topic that you want to take a deeper dive into. Plus, they can answer your questions, and if not, they can reach out to the Google team directly and ask questions and get support and help for you. So let me see now. See what questions here. How can I learn more about the resources that Google has? Oh, Maria, how you can learn more is in the partner community, because you are a partner. So if you'll go to the Google partner community, or if you go to the Grow site, I don't think I have it in the slide deck actually. I don't know why they took it out, but if you go to your grow.google site or google.com/grow, you can get there both ways. If you'll go there, it'll show you all of the different resources available. And if you will Google just all the Google tools, you'll be amazed at the amount of Google tools that are actually available, and most of them are free. So just take a look at it and see, use those two, or then just message me, Maria, since you're a Google partner, Brittany and I can help you right away in finding what all the different tools are, okay? Let me see, where can I look for products to sell? Oh, okay. Hannah, you can look. I mean, there's so many different marketplaces. Some people have affiliates who sell for them. Some utilize drop shipping a lot. You know, they'll go to Alibaba, or they'll go to some other, you know, drop shipping source. And so they just carry the product on their site, but they don't even handle all the manufacturing and the selling. I will tell you, one of the biggest educations that I got when I started into e-commerce was about shipping and fulfillment centers. You can actually have your products manufactured and then just send it to a shipping fulfillment center. They'll do all the packing, they'll handle the customer service, they do all the shipping out, they'll handle returns, and you don't have to worry about anything like that. Somebody could buy 1 bottle of this, 2 of this, they're just doing all of that already for you. So there's lots of fulfillment centers is what they call them, and they're across the world, which is great because we don't have to open up a warehouse in the UK to be able to do business in the UK. All right? You're very welcome, Anna. Does Google have a resource to find affiliates? Other than just Google search, that's all we have. You guys have been wonderful, wonderful questions here. I want to give a shout out because we are at the top of the hour to the Google partners, so you know who to reach out to with your questions. And that's the Oklahoma SBDC in Durant. Cindy, thank you very much for making sure your small businesses were supported here. Trust for Success Triangle, Megan, speak to Megan. And then also at the Grand Prairie Chamber of Commerce, talk to Maria and her team, because they truly are there to support you. And I am going to stay on if you have any questions, but if you need to get going, because it has been the full hour, we're at the top of the hour, please stay safe, stay healthy, wash your hands, and I look forward to seeing you on socials, online, or at a future webinar, okay? Now, if you have any other questions, though, feel free to ask in the question box. As long as you're here asking questions, I'll hang out and answer the questions. But if you need to go, you're not offending me, I want to say thank you, and please reach out to the Google partner that invited you. They are amazing people who truly want you to be successful. All right, let's see what questions we have. You're very welcome, Anna, Maggie, Montel, Maria, Jorge. Yes, yes. Oh, Maria, I'm so glad it was helpful for you. Thank you very much. Awesome. Jessica, thank you. Wonderful, everybody. Remember, I will send you the slides and the recording tomorrow morning. We just want to give it plenty of time for this, the copy of this to render. In fact, let me stop the recording.